We're going to talk about braids and relaxers today while I do my makeup. I've seen a lot of questions come my way lately asking like, I didn't know I could get braids with a relaxer, blah, blah, blah. And I could see why you would think that. It does seem like it's a very like natural hairstyle. But to answer that first question, yes, you can definitely have braids and have a relaxer and wear them and not have your hair break off and everything, okay? But there are a few things that you have to be mindful of, okay? I firmly believe, and you cannot tell me otherwise, that you need to give your hair a chance to grow some new growth before you actually put braids or any sort of protective style in. So that could be twists, that could be a sew-in, that could be anything that's gonna apply tension to your roots. You need to give your hair a chance to grow some new growth back. And the reason why I say this is because your roots are the anchor for your style, right? You're automatically applying tension to hair that has already been broken down to get it straighter to release that curl pattern. I truly mean this in my heart of hearts. Wait 2 to 3 months. I'm not exaggerating or anything here. Like, I really do think you should wait. And usually when I tell people that, they're like, well, if you wait 2 to 3 months, your hair's not gonna be as slick, your edges are gonna be curled back up, your roots are gonna be puffy, your hair's gonna get frizzy. Does my hair look frizzy? Like they're not super duper sleek, but does it look crazy? You guys gotta stop like thinking that like, oh, like if I don't have like my hair relaxed like at least like 2 weeks before, then my braids are gonna look crazy. That's not the case. I've seen people in my comments and like mentioning me saying like, oh, you really only need to wait 2 to 3 weeks. That is a lie. You wait 2 to 3 weeks and you're gonna have 2 to 3 strands of hair left. The other thing I think that is important to remember, like when you have a relaxer and you're trying to put like braids in, you cannot be snatching it out and putting this style back in like every other week. And I think one thing that comes with that, being mindful of like what products they're using or what products you're using. I used one product when I put my braids in, and that was Jam. And I used it very lightly, very sparingly on my hair, right? A lot of these products that are edge controls and beeswax and stuff like that have ingredients in them that are just not good for relaxed hair. I don't want it to have any alcohol in it. Alcohol is super duper drying, and we already know that relaxed hair and drying ingredients do not go together. Next thing you know, you taking your braids down a couple weeks later and you have not just a bunch of fallout, but your hair is breaking off when you're taking it out. It's probably because that product that was put into your hair to gel it and slick it down and all that stuff, drying your hair. So the other thing that is important for you to keep in mind when you have braids, make sure you're still doing hair care for yourself. I've been asked a couple of times, what are you gonna do now on YouTube? What is your content gonna be like now if you have braids? Basically implying like, because I have braids, I don't have anything hair related to talk about anymore, and now my content is gonna be non-existent. And I just want to say again, I said this on Instagram and I'm going to say it again here. That might be why some of y'all are bald-headed. I'm going to just lay it out there, no sugarcoating it. Because just because you have braids or twists doesn't mean you just get the free pass to do nothing to your hair. You still have to care for your hair. It doesn't take as much time, definitely, but you still have to care for your hair. You need to make sure you still have a regimen, a routine for your hair, no matter what. One of the biggest things I can tell you, because our hair is relaxed and it's more susceptible to drying out and breaking off, oils need to be your best friend in this process. Everyone has to kind of gauge this on their own, because some people's glands in your pores produce a lot more oil than others. So you just have to be mindful of that, of how often you need to oil your hair and your scalp. For me, I tend to have a drier scalp. So I typically oil my hair every other day. When I say I'm oiling my hair, I'm not drenching my hair in oil. No. I am usually going to take a little bit of oil on my hands, rub it in my fingers, and then massage my scalp with that. Because we're relaxed and our hair is more susceptible to breakage, our hair is a bit more fragile in certain areas, I personally don't leave my braids in for any longer than 6 weeks. Any longer than that, I feel like my hair is at risk of getting too dry, and just feel like I'm gonna see more breakage than if I remove them sooner. I've had people mention like that their hair seems super damaged and they want to get braids so that they can like give their hair a chance to rest and to grow back stronger and healthier, and then relax it again. I think that's a great idea, but I think you also have to look at the state of your hair. Before you go into braids, do not braid up ends that are super brittle, dry, and broken, and thinking that the braids are gonna solve that problem. They're not. You're gonna need to do a little bit of maintenance first before you put these braids in to really get the true benefits of wearing this protective style. So giving your ends a good trim. Remember, we want to do that trim at least 3 or so weeks before we put the braids in, because nobody likes to braid freshly cut blunt ends. Maybe a protein treatment, maybe making sure that you have done a hot oil treatment, or something like that for your scalp to be in a very good and healthy environment. If you go swimming, you still need to wash your hair immediately after you get out that pool with braids. Yes, you do, because that chlorine, it's still on your relaxed hair. And if you've been relaxed girly for a while, you know that relaxers and chlorine do not mix. My mama used to tell me all the time, if you get in that pool with your hair is gonna fall out. So I never knew how to swim, but I'm learning how to swim this summer. I'm excited. I'm gonna be washing my hair every time I get out of the pool. Someone on here, one of you guys, I can't remember your name, actually told me that a good tip to do was to get your hair wet with non-chlorine water. Just like get your hair soaking wet with it so that it absorbs that water, so that once you get into the pool, it can't absorb as much of the chlorine water as if you had gotten into the pool with dry hair, which I think is a great idea, and I'm gonna use that when I swim this summer. All right, y'all, that is my finished look for today. For anybody that does have a relaxer, you can absolutely get braids. You just have to be super mindful about what it is that you're doing with your hair and how you're caring for your hair while it's still in the braids, and the products that you're using on your hair. So I hope this helped out anybody who is maybe on the fence or just super unsure whether they could get braids with a relaxer. Girl, you absolutely can. But if you want more details, please make sure you like and subscribe, because I'll be sharing all sorts of tips all summer long. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time.